In February 1959, searchers navigating the frozen slopes of Russia's Ural Mountains discovered a collapsed and abandoned tent. Long, jagged slashes ran directly through the heavy canvas. Astoundingly, every cut originated from the inside of the tent. Inside the shelter, investigators found the group's essential survival gear: thick parkas, heavy boots, and untouched food. 9 experienced mountaineers had left it all behind. Down the slope, 9 sets of footprints pressed into the snow. Some tracks showed only socks, others bare feet. The strides were even and orderly, indicating the group walked together into a -25-degree blizzard. These seasoned survivalists understood the lethality of the cold. Their decision to abandon their equipment and walk into the darkness remains the central contradiction of the mystery. While hypothermia killed 6 of the hikers, the recovery of the final 3 revealed catastrophic internal trauma. Victims suffered shattered ribs and massive skull fractures, caused by a force comparable to a high-speed vehicle collision. Strangely, the bodies showed almost no external scrapes or bruising to explain the impact. The forensic reports also documented a detail that would fuel decades of speculation. Some victims were found missing soft tissue, including their eyes and tongues. The official Soviet investigation offered little clarity. Lead investigator Lev Ivanov blamed an overwhelming natural force, and the government abruptly closed the case. This lack of a definitive cause allowed conspiracy theories to multiply. For 60 years, the public pointed to Yeti attacks, covert military testing, and wind-generated infrasound. Without a confirmed scientific mechanism, the vacuum of information was filled by decades of supernatural folklore. Isolating the mechanical trigger of the tragedy requires looking past the sensationalized forensic details, specifically the missing eyes and tongues. This timeline shows the 3-month gap between the hikers' deaths in February and the discovery of the final ravine victims in May. The final victims lay submerged in flowing meltwater for months. This environment accelerated the natural process of post-mortem aquatic scavenging, which targets soft tissues. In 2021, scientists Johann Gaum and Alexander Puzrin applied modern geomechanical computer modeling to the campsite evidence to find the actual physical cause. By identifying the environmental factors of the ravine, researchers can finally focus on the geomechanical event that occurred on the mountain slope. On February 1st, the hikers cut a level platform into a 30-degree slope to pitch their tent. Over several hours, powerful katabatic winds deposited heavy snow onto the structurally compromised area. This critical weight created a localized, delayed slab avalanche directly above the camp. Sometime during that freezing night, a dense, heavy block of snow fractured and collapsed directly onto the sleeping hikers. A rigid slab of this density acts like a solid wall. It delivered enough blunt force to cause the car crash-like injuries found in the autopsies, while the soft snow underneath the hikers prevented external bruising. The specific physics of this geomechanical trap explains the catastrophic internal trauma without requiring a supernatural explanation. Trapped in the dark and suffering from severe injuries, the hikers slashed their way out of the tent, fearing a larger, secondary avalanche was imminent. Their orderly footprints document a calculated retreat. They didn't flee in panic. They moved as a group to the tree line to regroup. In the forest, they built a small fire. 2 members climbed a Siberian cedar tree, breaking branches high above the ground to look through the blizzard for their lost campsite. As the cold took its toll, the survivors redistributed warm clothing from those who had already fallen in a final attempt to stave off hypothermia. Igor Dyatlov and 2 others were found on the mountain slope, facing the camp. They died while attempting to crawl back to the tent, hoping to save the group by retrieving their gear. The Dyatlov Pass incident stands as a documented struggle against the geography of the Urals. Modern research replaces decades of folklore with the specific mechanics of a mountain slope.